Sorry.
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order. What time is it? It's 3:35. That's not too bad considering everything. Approval of the minutes. Did you guys get a chance to read the minutes?
The whole thing.
I did. Looked good to me. But you guys want to take a moment to read them just to.
Yep.
Okay. Robert's house. It's the story.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah,
what
it looks like it's pretty early.
Yeah, no, Amy did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're saying good job, Amy.
Good job.
Okay, we need a motion to approve if you guys are there.
I so move to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Larry.
Second.
Eric seconded. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, we got the minutes. Public hearings, there are none. Committee business, okay, goody. Let's start with Robert's house.
Linda, do you wanna, so Linda sent me an email yesterday?
This morning.
Today?
Mhm.
Feels like yesterday.
Uh-huh.
So can you just kind of give us an update on it? So,
It's been approved. Our period of significance has been approved.
okay, so last time I heard, so when we met with the state, they wanted you guys, you and Steve, to kind of get back on them with
Mhm.
kind of post, was it 1938? So
Yeah,
that
we
went
did.
well, okay.
Yep, it's all been approved
Via email,
via email.
can we see some of that stuff as well, if you could forward that?
They're all here.
So the state,
I'm handing this over to you guys. I'm pretty much done with this job. So there you go.
so the
Sounds good.
state
Actually, I need
did
copies of,
not copy the city.
no, because I did not copy the city in my communications with them. So,
Do you want a copy of this whole thing? or-
well, let me go through it, but,
So I guess you give it back to me.
yeah, I guess I will. I guess I don't want to really hand everything off, but,
So,
so the process that happened was when we did the Zoom meeting, you were there.
Yeah.
It was essentially approved, we just needed to provide additional information.
They didn't, from my perspective, Linda, they didn't really say, hey, this is approved, they were just asking for more information.
But they gave the impression that if we give them this information, then they would go with this period of significance, which we already had.
Barring what the information was.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we already had all of that.
Yeah.
Steve did his original research in 2021.
Okay,
when we did the public hearing to get it designated.
Yeah.
As a landmark, I believe. Steve submitted that package with the city.
Mhm.
And so, post 1938, that
Yes.
work had already been done.
Mhm.
And so, was it then just,
It was just clarifying the final questions on the post 1938. So we just had to go through the document that had been prepared in 2021. We sent this document into History Colorado. They sent us a couple more items for clarification. I asked Steve to change his PowerPoint from a audio to written. So that was all submitted to History Colorado. And then there were a couple additional questions on post 1938, which Steve responded to in this email. And then one other additional note that he made was what he thought, what his original thought was, Steve wanted it to really get, he wanted all of the additions to come down. He really wanted the original cabin to be represented. But he finally did come to the conclusion that the addition B, which is the bathroom addition, did happen during the Roberts period. So that was done on August 28th, and then this morning, all of the questions have been properly answered, and they sent an email that we agree with all the statements and the period of significance 1919 to 1938. So, and that came from Ann this morning.
So just for clarification for the community's sake, CJ and along with you, Linda,
Uh-huh.
had that
Meeting.
meeting that
Mhm.
included Kim. Wrong name. Who's our grant writer?
No, Kimberly has not
Kimberly.
been involved at all so far. I mean, I tried to get,
The
To me.
email, I want to make sure everybody
Okay.
understands. There's an email that you forwarded to me.
yep, that was after the last HPC meeting.
Right.
Came right after the
And
last.
CJ was on that.
No, I sent the email directly to Kim to ask if I could set up a meeting with her
With her to move forward.
with the grant. Yes.
And Kim's email sent it to Karen and said, we can't move forward.
Karen said we couldn't move
We
forward.
could not move forward because we didn't have any post-1938 data.
Yeah,
But when you met with Kim,
I never met with Kim.
excuse me, when you communicated with Kim, we did have that information.
I had it all here.
You
It
had it
just
all
needed
here.
to be,
And so Karen's response was we didn't have what we needed, but the reality is we did have what we needed. Is that their
yes,
statement?
yes.
Okay, so my understanding is for the planning grant perspective, there is no deadline.
Correct.
There is no reason why we cannot go forward.
No. No.
So I guess, CJ, what I'm asking you is, can we go forward with this, since we
Yeah.
have the planning grant? There is no, this is taking absolutely forever and a day. It's like.
Well, and it's tough too, from my perspective, I'm not getting on you, Linda, but it's tough because I didn't know any of that happened, right? So from my perspective, I think
Yeah.
we just need to, like, if you're reaching out to Kimberly or Karen, just let me, I will reach out and try to schedule a meeting. And whoever wants to be in that meeting, as the chair, if you want to be in that, and Linda, of course. And let's try to sit down and have a meeting together.
You know what, technically, you're the planner here, right?
Right.
So technically, CJ should be the one who probably should suck into this.
I can do that.
So fast forward from the last meeting to today, with what the information that you just got back,
Mhm.
it would be time to go back to Kimberly.
Mhm.
CJ, you go back to Kimberly and say, we have everything that we need to go forward with this.
Mhm.
Because it seems to me Kimberly should be interfacing with CJ.
Yeah.
If CJ has an issue, he goes to Karen. Is that a
Mhm.
fair
For sure.
observation?
For
Okay.
sure.
Of course.
And
So,
obviously, Karen and I work, she's my boss, so whatever I do, she's gonna be in the loop in, right? So
Yes.
just as an FYI.
and that's CJ's responsibility to make sure she's in the loop,
Yes.
right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so let's work with just CJ.
Yeah, okay.
And try to kick this rock a little further down the road.
Sure.
I'm ready.
That's on my to-do list, okay?
I'm
So
more than ready.
send an email to Kimberly.
Would you,
I'm out of town the 7th to the 14th.
would it be beneficial to send that email that you sent to me with Karen's response to CJ so that he has
You
that?
got it. You got that. He was copied.
He was copied on that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I didn't dig into it that far. Okay. All right,
Yep, you got
so
it.
we're clear there? So
Yeah.
Yep. Let's go forward. On something.
Question,
Okay,
is there any work to do, should be done, anything at all outside of go for the grant? Can't do anything.
No, we
without
can't
the-
do anything till the grant.
Till we get the planning grant at this point.
Correct.
But I want it to be done before the end of the year, so at 2026, we can apply for the next grant. So there is,
And the next grant is a cost share grant?
well, that's part of, that's part of what we determined during the planning
And that
process.
plays into this budget thing that's going on.
Yeah,
And I digress just a little bit. Our new city council liaison person is Jeff Gear.
Correct.
Linda and I talked, and Linda did reach out to Jeff because we wanted to try to get him up to speed. But he was not available to come to this meeting today, nor could he meet with us yet so that we can help bring him up to speed. So we want to continue to pursue that with Jeff.
Yep.
To help get him up to speed, because quite frankly, there's two sides to every story, and we had Steve step off with, I think, not a good explanation to us. And we do not know what has been transpired between Steve and Jeff. So I think it would, as a committee, it would behoove us to reach out to him and offer to give him some information. So let me ask you, from a planning perspective, have you given him a copy of this year's stuff or
Yes.
that stuff? Does he have a copy of our bylaws?
He does.
Okay.
So as well as the 2025 work plan and budget. The last thing I was going to send him, I just haven't yet, I was gonna send him a copy of all of our minutes for this year, if you wanted to peruse those and kind of get up to speed on where we've been this
Okay.
year.
Perfect.
But I think a sit-down meeting, like if you did want to have coffee with him or something, I think that'd be great too.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
But yeah.
because what we're talking about here with the next steps for Roberts, if we can get the planning grant, and then going forward, it's gonna play into our conversation with our work plan. Okay, so, sorry, I had to go down that rabbit hole. So Templeton,
just real quick.
yes.
What of this stuff do you have already? I mean,
we
you
have
should have had all of this
that
stuff.
PowerPoint with his voiceover.
If you didn't get the written
I don't
version,
think I have the written.
did you get the, do you have this original document from 2021?
If it's in, was it in the packet for
For the, when
the,
we did the application
yeah,
for the.
if it was in the
historical
packet,
preservation.
then
Okay.
we should have that.
Okay, so this looks like everything that needs to be copied is right here.
Okay.
Do you want me to just send it to you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Do you have an extra agenda
Yeah, sorry.
copy?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, Eric.
No problem, thank you.
Anything else on Roberts? Comments, questions, concerns? Okay, so we'll go to Templeton. Latest and weirdest, I'll look at you.
Nothing, we have no plans at the moment, just,
You know that Eric was working on the,
we're kind of letting Eric do his thing first.
okay, so that's where we're at.
Mhm.
Okay, Eric's got to do his thing. Okay, we'll go from there.
Mhm.
Preservation plan, we have.
Can we hit on the preservation plan during, well, when we talk about the work plan?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll circle back to preservation plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Bergstrom Park reimagined, I don't know that, we know that plan was adopted. but
So, yeah.
It's on the back burner now, right? Because of funding,
Yeah,
it's all based on funding now,
everything takes time and money.
Bergstrom.
So, yeah, as far as, we don't really have any updates as far as reimagining Berkshire Park, yeah.
But the city is going ahead with purchasing the part of Tava Circle. And
Right.
that
That, yeah,
piece.
It was a different parcel than Tava owned by, Arden.
Arden,
Yeah,
so that the street can be punched through.
correct.
That's still going forward.
As far as I know, yes.
Are they still going with
As you
the,
can imagine, that's a little above my pay grade, so by the time information gets down to my office, but yes, as far as I know, it's still.
I asked Suzanne Leclerc about it, and she said that they have it's under contract.
what about the, deceleration lane? Is that still up in question, or are they still trying to get rid of that?
No, no, the construction documents are being reviewed by CDOT right now, so.
Are they trying to fight it?
No, that's kind of a non-starter. CDOT is 100% making that happen, just based on what their numbers are and the engineering that has to happen, so.
But we, the city of Woodland Park is not pushing back against that.
Not the deceleration lane, no,
Because, you know.
because that's a CDOT requirement.
But you can.
That's where nobody's doing their homework.
Yeah,
I'm going to
no.
interject. Nobody's doing their homework, and that's to the, if it was advantageous to the city of Woodland Park, then you wouldn't want to say so. But the aspect that it takes away from the park, and if you did this study through the numbers that's allowed for CDOT, took their trigger points, you have all grounds to fight it. Especially with regards, something they haven't done, should do, and it's really not a legitimate report when that happens. The turnout comes to the other adjacent property. The turn lane's going in the wrong place anyway. For the record,
Okay.
there's a number of buildings here, but down through town, that would not exist unless somebody did their homework and checked the actual requirements of CDOT. Every project I've been involved with, like 24, first thing out of their mouth is, you have to have a turn lane. It's killed a number of projects. That's also with a little argument brought successful projects to light. That is, I don't understand why they don't want to do what's appropriate. CDOT will always say, you have to do a turn lane.
Yeah, and we historically have pushed that
Yes.
repeatedly. CJ on a variety of projects in this community for the last 30, 40 years. When this has come down the pipe. So to say CDOT requires it, so many of us just go, oh, no, push back. So we don't buy it.
Very relevant point is that one traffic report should be null and void upon acquisition of the Arden Weatherford property. It's just wrong. It's not where the traffic is going now that or when the other transactions are made. There's a number of business centers here that are all dependent on the next business come along and put a stoplight, for instance, or the acknowledgement of where curbs are, or the supply of neighborhood traffic's coming in, as well as just plain the traffic on 24. I had to say it once, I don't know that it's really
Well,
good,
and
because it's the owner's responsibility.
Right, but then there are, and I'll just say too, there are resources such as people in this community that have been here for years that could help cast a little light on history and reasons why and how it's going to play forward in the past. Okay, we got to. Okay, the youth poster, I think, is still in La La Land.
Yeah.
Is that a true statement?
Correct.
Okay, we'll skip that. Okay, under other business, the historic designation possibility at 107 West Henrietta is still on hold.
Well-
There's been some rewrite,
Or has
or
it been
the 107 West Henrietta.
Oh, yes, that is back alive. They'd be very interested, and they're totally open. They'd be totally open to receiving a plaque, getting under the designation. They had a problem figuring out their business, which the plaque does not depend on, but they were not either thinking of it either, so.
So they're interested.
Oh, yeah. No, they'd be happy to receive it every time.
So historically, the way that's handled is the planning department would reach out to them and, give them an application. And
Which they have, but yeah. we
They
can-
do have the
I
application.
mean, when we started talking about this, what, a year ago or maybe more? When those folks from Kansas bought it, yeah, but I can send them an email and get something on the books. Does that sound like they want to do
Sure,
that?
and I will encourage them to just follow up on that,
Okay.
maybe assistance with that.
And the last name is Hammond?
HAMMOND. And, you probably already have the email address, but you can call my office anytime you get it.
Okay. Sorry about the buzzing. I'm not sure what that is. I just texted Amy. She said, yes, I can hear it.
She can hear us. Okay, moving on then. Voss Building, has anybody heard anything with the owners supposedly gonna try to do something? Oh. You resolved it?
Started hitting buttons, things happen.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I don't know if you guys have heard anything more? Okay, so as far as we know, he's still falls back in the owner's hands.
Yep.
You haven't heard anything, Mr. Duke?
Can I just add, I would support Linda on her support for 116 West Lake to be followed up on. It's not on the agenda, but when we're doing historic properties, and Linda had visited with Steve, 116 West Lake.
But wasn't there a couple other addresses as well?
The 112
The one
was-
right next to them,
Right,
yeah, to the east of them.
and I don't know whether we should send a letter saying we would like to hear from you, or just wait hear from them, but Eric with 116 is out of the country for 3 months. So depending upon Eric, it's not gonna happen this year. So should we send a note to both of those owners and say, please, we're interested in your properties for designation, and where are you at?
What do we remember? Steve visited with them,
I
right?
visited too.
You visited too.
They were very
And they were
impressed.
interested.
Yes, the 115, it is 115, right?
116.
116.
And 112.
Yeah, the 116, the son, I guess that's Eric,
Right,
is very interested, but he wanted to talk to his mother. And so, because she's the actual owner of the property.
right.
And so that was the deal. We left it that Steve and I were going to visit them again and then, and try to meet with the mother.
Mhm.
So, but I don't think a letter would hurt at all.
And then we could say you brought it up at the meeting, it's been discussed, so
Yeah.
that you were interested in, this is the next step to do, or something like that. If we are showing interest as a follow-up from the committee,
Are they the same owners, 112 and 116?
no,
It's just that 112 was also interested.
right.
Because 116 talked to 112.
Okay.
Yeah, and
If they're showing interest, and we haven't done anything further showing interest is my
Sure.
concern.
So, CJ, can you get that on your plate?
Sure.
To do that
Yeah.
same sort of, however you
Sure.
reached out to Hammond?
Sure.
And do that on both
Yeah.
those properties?
And if someone wants to proof my work that is on the committee, to make sure we have all the right language in there, I would take, take requests.
Okay,
But with 112, it's seeking designation or interest, I mean, they stepped forward, we haven't done anything, to my mind.
Mhm.
Let's some follow-up.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, CJ.
okay, and maybe what we should do, wherever we put on the Henrietta, on our,
Well, yeah, with Henrietta, I'll probably just give him a phone call because, I mean, I've talked with him on a few other things regarding the property and some things with their single family house, so we, kind of know him and his wife fairly well, so I'll just give them a call if that's okay.
I would think so. But I think Larry's idea that a letter
for
here, because these guys might have real concerns about their hands being tied. And that's what we want to alleviate,
Mhm,
is that fear.
mhm.
Okay, so letters in order there.
And I did talk to them about that when I met with them,
Okay,
but it would be good to see it in writing, I suppose.
okay.
I think that was the biggest concern of the mother.
I'm gonna send you guys a copy before we mail it out.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool.
Thanks.
Perfect. Okay. Well, the Colorado, isn't the Colorado a 200-year anniversary?
No, it's 150.
No, sorry, yeah, it's 150. And the city of Woodland Park is 50? Yeah. I think there's several. Do you know if the city's had any discussion around all this celebratory stuff next year?
If they have, I haven't been involved, so.
I know Steve had reached out to,
A250, C150, I've been there too.
well, no, but somebody here at the city,
Oh,
Kristen Higginbotham.
probably Kristen, and Kristen had expressed an interest. I know the Historical Society is working on some things, but nothing's, so I don't know where we'd want to plug into any of this. I mean, we
well,
don't
can we
hardly have
finally get the
resources.
youth poster and combine that with the history of Colorado?
Well, May is History Preservation Month. So maybe something could be done. See, I don't know what
May.
Karen was trying to push the recreation, Woodland Park Rec, kids rec group to be involved with the poster thing. But then Maria quit. So things went,
Yeah, I mean,
Tanked.
under Cindy's, 2 people left in the same week. So it was literally just her and then the folks at the, cultural center. So, I mean, it was pretty bare bones there for a while. They just hired someone new, his name's Mike. He's a very nice guy. I'll ask him if he's kind of taken on both of those roles or none of those roles or what he's doing. And if he's kind of innately involved in any of those classes or working with the stuff that Maria was, then maybe we can get him on board.
And that's the Parks and Rec you were talking about?
Correct.
well, there's that, but we might also, when we go through the budget, we have money typically for,
Yeah, $800.
yeah, but that's for that's for the,
That's for date, in the past.
typically
David.
when we've done that design. Do we have any money for? Mm-mm. I was just wondering if we were doing something with the kids. If we had some dollars for that, we could partner with the Historical Society, and Pat Hislop would be the one that would head that up. Because she does the classes in the schools and has those on-site visits.
Mm.
So if there was something that they were doing that we could throw some of our money at to support them, to make it bigger and better, that might be the way to go, since Pat's the engine behind all that.
We could pay for the TP.
TP. That, it could be,
I mean,
because
something like that. It's concrete.
yeah,
I think we definitely need to talk about that, because if that's the case, today we're talking about the budget too.
that's right,
This is a draft,
that's right.
and this is, I don't know, I don't want to roll right into it.
No, we don't want to roll into it yet,
Right.
but we've got several things to consider here.
I think
We're
it's
talking
worth
about
talking.
plaques coming up, possibly. We're talking about 3 potential plaques coming up. We're talking about the celebration next year and what that could look like. And maybe we roll it together with the poster, or maybe we partner with the Historical Society. We're also looking at the Roberts House next phase. However that grant is, whether it's a cost share or,
Yes, the planning grant is 10% CJ match?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so there's those dollars.
Yeah, 10% city match, and it's up to what, 15,000 or 20,000?
Mhm.
So $2,000 for that. And then we need to talk about how we have in here. I won't get to it.
Yeah, I've got another request.
Yeah, as well. Okay, so, you know what, why don't we, 150-year celebration. I know the Historical Society and Pat are just starting to talk about it. And since we don't know what the city's planning to do with anything, maybe our efforts could be spearheaded towards the Historical Society who might reach out to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that gets us out of the limb, quite frankly.
Yeah.
With our limited resources. Sound okay? Okay, I'll bring it up. And Larry can bring it up if he gets a chance to. We'll see I'll poke around. And you've gone to the meetings,
The A253, yeah.
so you kind
Yeah,
of.
there's a lot of people doing lots of stuff and we're doing absolutely nothing.
When you say we, are you talking about the city of Woodland Park?
Yes.
You know, CJ, from a planning perspective, do you have an opportunity from a staff meeting or something to ask about this? Not just on our behalf, but on the city's behalf, to say, hey, are we as a city looking to do anything? Because I believe the city became a city, I want to say 1976, and if that's the case, that's a 50-year anniversary. Okay, so Woodland Park has an opportunity on top of these other, whatever they call them, to also do a celebration focused on that.
Well, and it's a real opportunity for the city because it's all being advertised and marketed through the visitor center in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
So they get people walking in there every day saying, what's going on? And they show them the calendar of events. And so if there's something that, it would be a way to get people here and the city would benefit from that. So it's a pretty good opportunity that you really don't want to miss if you don't have to.
Well, I mean, what kind of things are they doing history related?
They're doing
Like,
things,
what's some good
it's
ideas that, like, brainstorm what Woodland Park could do, right?
yeah.
Because we haven't really done that in this group either. You know, what could we do? I like the youth poster and working with the Youth Past Historic Society.
Yeah, there's,
well,
the people that go to this meeting are, the Pikes Peak Library District, so it's things through the library. So, really, that's why I said combining the youth poster with the celebration would be something that other people are doing in other places. But the mayor's office is there. They've got the city, obviously Colorado Springs has quite a few plans. But it is hard to come up with an idea. But a lot of people are just rebranding things that they've already doing, like things that they do yearly anyway, and then just rebranding it and trying to steer that new branding into a focus on the history.
Sure.
Let's have a parade. A parade in town and stop the traffic to celebrate. But then it's in the city budget to have, they'd have to put it in the budget for this special programs, or they have special events in their budget line item for.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, Larry, if they have, like, you know, we do the 4th of July one and, you know, the city puts on a float and stuff like that, so.
Well, I'll just go ahead and bring up the next project that Steve and I are working on, because this could be something, because we have already talked to, Nicole. She's the manager of the cemetery, correct? Yeah. We've already talked to Nicole, and there are 2 native-born veterans from World War I, one from World War II, that one of the veterans is Francis Johnson. He was let's see, I gotta get this straight. There's 2 veterans. One was a World War I, one was a World War II. the World War II guy died in battle in France and was buried in France. And the other guy died from the Spanish flu, so that must have been World War One. He was brought back to Woodland Park and buried in the cemetery, but nobody knows where he is. So we've already talked to the VFW, and we are planning to provide 2 new military stones for these 2 men, and have already arranged with the VFW for next Memorial Day to have a celebration of these men. And Nicole has said that she will find us a place to put those stones in the cemetery. So that could be something we do, because the VFW will be there, there's gonna be an honor guard, the stones will be placed, and we're gonna have a military celebration at that point. So that's something that we could do as far as the history is concerned. And I'm gonna be asking the city for a financial donation towards this, since it's their citizens and their.
But that could be included in our budget.
That's what I'm gonna be requesting that to be
When we have
included in our
that
budget.
Do you have a,
I do.
okay.
I do know what that amount is. I'm gonna ask for the full
Are
amount, and
these
then
the
we'll give whatever we
weights?
can.
Are these the
These
weights?
are the military
Military
stones,
stones.
yes. And we've already met with the Rocky Mountain Memorials, Steve gets all of our stones from. And the co-owner of that monument production company down there is a graduate from Woodland Park High School. And we've already got 1 stone, we just have to find another. So there's 1 stone down there that was never picked up. It's a complicated process getting a military stone if you're not a family member. And so we're going through them because they've got multiple military stones that were ordered but never picked up. And one of them's 20 years old, one of them's 15 years old. So everybody's making the assumption they will never be picked up, but since it's government property, they have to go through some chains of making sure that the government doesn't come back and say, hey, where's that stone? But they've already been engraved, so they have to be sanded down and the new names and information put on. So we know where the stones are coming from, we know what the names are, we've got the VFW already involved. Now we just need to get the city involved.
When you guys talked about this, would it be just standard engraving?
Just standard engraving.
So it's not gonna identify them as Native Americans on the stones?
They're not Native Americans, they're native to Woodland Park.
Native to
They were
Woodland Park.
Woodland Park.
You heard that too.
Sorry, no, they're natives of Woodland Park. They were born and raised here,
Oh,
and
okay.
then,
Okay.
it's kind of like the Eric Dixon,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's just
Gotcha.
honoring
Somebody that was from here.
somebody who was from here
Okay,
and
gotcha.
died
Gotcha.
as a result of their service.
Okay.
And don't have stones in the cemetery. So that's what our next project is.
So there's documentation of one of them being buried in the Woodland Park Cemetery,
But
but
they don't-
nobody
nobody
knows
knows
where it is.
Nobody knows. I mean, there's quite a few unknowns.
But wasn't there a long time ago where you guys did the ground penetrating radar over there?
Well, even if you did the ground penetrating radar, you may not know who's in there. So we
Right.
placed a bunch of unknown stones over there already. So we
Based on the last survey?
just
of the
it was a
ground penetrating
process. We had to go through a process of, well, you can see the indentations, number one. And then you just go through this process of newspaper articles, whatever you can find from the city of Woodland Park's old records. But there's quite a few unmarked graves over there. And that we tried to, I think we put maybe 40 stones over there that say unknown. And, but no, Nicole's already confirmed that they have no idea where this man is, but they do know that he's there.
Oh, so he
somewhere.
could be in one of the unmarked.
He
graves.
could be in one of the
Could be.
unmarked.
So the whole idea of these two stones is just the acknowledgement
Oh.
that these two individuals served in the
Yes.
military. They were from Woodland Park. And
Yes.
one deceased World War I and one World
World
War
War
II.
II. Yes, and the VFW's very excited to help. And, so we are in the process of figuring out how to pay for these two stones.
So if they're so excited to help, they could pop up some money.
They will cough up some money. But I'm gonna ask the city for the full amount, and so we can get at least part of it, and then we'll try to get the rest from the VFW, or we'll come up with some other fundraising
Well, I
mechanism.
think that's a great idea, and doing that at this anniversary and in honor of even the city's 50th.
Yeah,
So there's an idea right there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you could tie that into the
if you
50th.
start with staff meetings or something, bringing this up and some ideas. Any other ideas?
That's all I have at the moment.
That's great.
Yeah.
No more ideas? Well, I think you should,
That's all I got at the
keep
moment.
brainstorming on that. So, yeah, I think you should do the parade, but do it between 6:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning, because Fox News focuses on the plywood of the Voss building every morning.
Isn't that nice?
So it needs to parade right through there,
You
right
know,
on TV.
You guys, also, the other thing is, if we do a poster again, it could be focusing on something around this as well.
Like veterans?
Or
That'd be sweet.
But I mean, if we pursue the David poster and we want to have a theme, maybe we should just start cooking in our head how we could tie some things together. Because I think the UPass Historical Society is also celebrating their
50th.
50th next year
And if
too.
they don't, they should be working on that now, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I think they're starting, Larry, but my point is, they could have a big, I'm pretty sure next year's their 50th. They started in 76
They
too.
did.
Yeah, Jen Pettit.
And why do you say the city in 76?
Because it became a city.
City
The town of Woodland Park became the city of
The city.
Woodland Park,
in
and it became a
76.
home rule. I believe it was in 76. That's why I said that. But, okay, but I think we have some good ideas, and I'm sure Amy will pull them together and we can keep revisiting it. We have a little bit of time to be thinking about it, and in the meantime, we'll reach out to the Historical Society, and if you can do a little fishing
Sure.
through your staff meetings and stuff and see if they're thinking, because, you know, it's not gonna be good if Kristen or somebody's off working on something.
We don't know
and
that.
we don't know about it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're ready for the work plan and the budget.
Okay.
So you
Let's
gave us,
do, yeah.
this guy?
So you guys should have copies of the work plan and the budget. Just as an FYI, we didn't update this from last year. So I'm really looking for you guys to tell us, you know, if we want stuff added, taken away. I think the biggest thing that really we should keep thinking about and actively work on is the preservation plan. Because like I stated when last time we met with Lindsay, she was, you know, pretty curious on how that conversation was going. So that's why I printed off this stuff for you. So the last meeting that we had with Lindsay when we talked about preservation plan was October 1st, 2024. After that meeting, she sent us these attachments. So I just wanted to give that to everyone and just make it fresh in their minds of what it takes for a preservation plan and just kind of a good update. If you guys want to go rewatch that meeting, it's October 1st, 2024. It's posted on YouTube. I watched it today.
October 1st?
Yeah. So, if I can send the link via email, obviously, but I just, went to YouTube and said Woodland Park HPC, October 1st, 2024, and it was the first one that popped up. So. And how, the budget and the work plan work hand in hand, right? So on the budget as well, I also added a space for preservation plan. And I'm not saying we are 110% going to get money. I just think it's important to try and put something in here for next year.
But did we make a conscious decision to write our preservation plan in-house?
We did not. I
And
don't
we,
think we have.
I didn't either. I think we were kicking around the options of writing it in-house.
Sure.
And at the time,
Who would do that?
Steve had said that he would definitely entertain doing that and being the central part of doing that and helping us tie things together with the Historical Society. I think that option's off the table now. So, I'm wondering if we need, do we have a feel for the cost if we were to go outside to get some help for this?
According to Lindsay in that last year presentation, she said like for something with the size that we would need, it'd probably be 25 grand.
Holy Toledo. 25 grand?
She said minimum.
Minimum,
City's not gonna budget that.
that's inflation.
That was last year, so it's 30 now. Larry.
30
No, I'm
now.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. But-
So how do we approach this?
well, in the
Who can we rip off and reuse?
midterm, in her slideshow packet, there is CLG grants, there's mini grants, there's narrow grants. We've been talking a lot about grants these last few months, but it's an option. And I think the preservation plan, just personally and, talking with Lindsay about it, I think it is very important because once we have a preservation plan in place and Woodland Park's asking for more money down the line, it's so important to have, hey, look, this is in our preservation plan. This is in, we're planning on this. Like, please give us money. So I do think it's important. I think it's something we really need to think about doing next year.
And why do we think Minterms is a template for us?
Because Lindsay said it was.
Okay, and,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna ask this again, because I can't remember. Did you give us a copy of my terms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I think the only way it's gonna get done is if you just schedule time to do it. You'd spend a lot of time talking about it, but,
Sure. Yeah, I agree. But I think, as a group, I think it's worth kicking around the idea of seeing if we could get a grant or, what do you guys think?
For sure.
Because this is the thing, as far as staff goes, if we take on writing this, it's gonna be me and Karen, and depending on our workload and how many projects are coming in and how much development's going on and,
you don't have to convince me. I'm all for getting a grant.
code updates and things like that, that's just a lot.
Get a grant to do the grants.
Yeah. Who of the options that are out there, did she talk about that on the YouTube, on our presentation of who
Yes,
to reach out to?
not specifically, but in order to receive in order for it to be like an accepted preservation plan through History Colorado, it has to be someone that has a master's degree in historic preservation. Which there's folks out there.
How many are there out there?
I'm not sure. So I know that was
I wonder if Sally would entertain the idea of writing one.
Maybe for 12.5.
Just thought I'd throw that out there,
That would be,
because she has that. she's told me no on many occasions, I might just ask, just for shits and giggles.
And our local city person can't write the grant.
I mean,
Or she can start it.
the grant or the
Where do you even start,
in the preservation plan?
or,
Yeah, I was talking about the preservation.
preservation plan, can she do anything, for a grant, how to write a preservation plan? Where do you begin?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think watching that YouTube video again is very nice.
Okay, if you send us the link, but we should go watch it again, so that we can keep this front and center, because
Because
maybe.
I want to keep talking about this.
Because if we're gonna continue to try to reach out for grants, I can see how having this in place, but this is a long-term thing, this is not a.
1,000, it's not like something where on September 2nd, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna get it done and it's gonna be done next month.
No.
You know, I mean, a lot goes into it, working with the public and getting public comment on this and, what should we, focus on and things like that, what projects and what our long-term goals are. It's a lot. And if that's something that we were to take on by ourselves, it'd be a lot of work on this board too, that's for sure.
Well, Lindsay is a preservation planner,
Correct.
can she write it for us?
I don't know. I don't know that.
I think we need to do some homework on it and try to understand it better. What do you guys think?
Who's taking responsibility for doing the homework?
Just doing some homework to kind of understand it again.
I think we should all go watch this meeting again on October 1st. Jot down any questions, concerns. If you think we need to meet with Lindsay again and go over the options again, we can do that. She's typically very good at responding to us and getting something on the books. Obviously she'll just be over Zoom again, but I'm sure she would do it. So if that's something we want to do, we can move forward with that.
When do we have to have the line item on the budget?
Well, nothing's gonna get done today. Karen's my boss and I can't sign off on this, so. Today was more of discussion. Any ideas, your idea, Linda, we'll jot down and see, so. Because obviously council has to approve this budget too.
Yeah, but we also need our liaison to go to bat for us
For sure.
and he's got to understand what we're trying to push here.
But when is the final budget meeting with the council?
I don't know.
Well, the budget has to be finalized by December, but there's a whole lot there's gonna be some public work sessions and stuff in October and November.
Okay.
So here we are starting September, so this is where we gotta get it in Jeff's cap, so that when they start having conversations. So what was our budget last year?
Last year was 14.8.
We get any bonus points when we don't use even a fraction of the money?
You don't spend it, it goes into the back of the.
Goes away.
Go on.
We didn't really spend very much money last year.
But perhaps we need a big number in there for preservation plan consultant.
Well, and at that point, I think it'd be very unrealistic to ask city council to give us $25,000. I think it'd be more of like hey, we need a few thousand for a grant match. That's really, I think, realistic on what we could potentially ask for.
Okay, so should we go ahead and jump into the budget?
Sure.
Yeah.
So you and Karen, this is your straw man that you put together, your budget kind of at this point.
So I took the 2025 budget that was approved, copy and pasted it in 2026 and added a line item for preservation plan. As you guys can see, I just put question marks down there and I said potential grant match for preservation plan.
Okay.
So I just, wanted to bring that up and see if that's something that you guys would be willing to, you know, try to go for. What we want to ask for and change or get rid of, or. You know,
Well, I'm
like
not sure why
support-
the
support-
asbestos abatement keeps coming up, because that's way down the road. And we don't,
So maybe we need to change some verbiage.
yeah,
That's what we
because
need
I
to
would
do.
like to see,
Because if you think about it, that $11,900 got approved in 2025.
yeah, because we had a councilman that was really supporting us at that time.
Right.
But I would like to add $1,000 for the military stones for the 2 veterans.
Should we identify that as the, what's the verbiage, 150 year, 200 year, 250?
Yeah,
What's,
it's the A250, C150 is the committee,
America, so the A.
America
250,
and Colorado 150.
Colorado 150. And really, we should put the WP 50.
Yeah,
That's a mouthful.
yeah,
That's how we should identify it. A 250,
$250.
C 150, WP 50. And,
Make that a line item, put it there, right in the,
and then $1,000
for the military stones,
for 2.
military stones, yes. And then the VFW is providing the honor guard and that sort of stuff, so, and of course, Steve and I will set the stones at no cost. So that would just cover the cost of the stones.
So the setting of the stones will require the epoxies and everything. And
Yes,
we
and cement.
Typically, that's done under contingency expenses.
headstone restoration,
Yes.
$400, and we know that one of those is like 250 bucks, and the other one's cheap.
Those epoxies are expensive, yeah, but $400 should cover the cost of those materials. And we're not using epoxies for this setting of these. What we're doing on this is we're gonna make a form like we did with Hathaway's stone. So it's cement, it's concrete. So it's a bag of concrete and gravel.
And gravel, and
Yeah.
then setting the stone
And then
down
setting-
inside of that. some
Yes.
distance.
Yeah, because these stones are about 42 inches high, and we'll
There's a
set
lot of
them,
leverage.
yeah, we'll set them down at least 12 inches. We don't want anybody to steal.
So should we consider bumping the contingency expense up a little? To cover epoxies, sand for those.
Well, we would use those epoxies in Templeton, but we won't need them for those
No,
military
no,
stones,
no.
yeah. So are you
The
thinking,
concrete,
yeah, the concrete and the epoxies?
I'm talking about all of it, because I know Steve had gotten sand, real
We
fine
get
sand
that free.
donated.
We get that donated. Yeah, we get the sand and the gravel donated.
So a couple bags of Quikrete is what we're
Yep.
talking about.
Yep, that's all we're talking about for the military stones,
So
plus the stones themselves.
So maybe 400's enough.
400's probably enough.
Okay.
I'd rather turn the Junction House asbestos abatement into matching funds for the grant.
Yeah.
And
Junction House, should we change it to Junction?
Roberts
Roberts.
/ Junction,
Robert's House.
Roberts? And
Yeah.
we change that to
the matching funds for the
planning
planning
grant. So
grant.
get rid of asbestos abatement.
Mhm.
So you wanted to say Roberts / Junction House
House.
Planning Grant Match.
Yes,
You okay with that, CJ?
Planning Grant Match.
And that's a high number for that.
I always get confused on how all that works. It really just comes down to the next conversation needs to be with Chuck
It's this, yeah.
to see how much it's gonna cost for him to produce the document.
Okay, but could this also include,
The-
the match
See,
for
that's what I
the
was
next,
thinking too.
the next phase after the planning
Mm-hmm.
grant? This could also include, what's that grant called?
We don't know yet. We have to go through the process of the planning before we know what the next grant's about, but it's most likely going to be,
It's 3 different grants.
yeah, at least 3. And that's one of the things we need to start thinking about is that this is gonna take years and years to do, but we need to get started on that whole thing. But the next one would be the next grant would actually be getting all those additions taken off.
Mhm.
And so that's gonna exceed the 20,000 for the non-competitive grants. So that's gonna end up being, either a general grant or a mini grant to take,
Yeah, because the mini grants are up to 50.
yeah, the way that and those are a timed grant, so we'd have to get those in. We have to get those in under a certain time frame. That's why it's important that we get the planning grant applied for before the end of the year, so we can start thinking about the next grant, which is due in March. And if we miss the March deadline, then we're all the way to October, which puts anything actually happening on the Roberts House in 2027. By then, it may roll or not even be there anymore. So, but I don't know what it's gonna cost to rip those additions off and to stabilize
That's
the
something
building.
Chuck needs to give us something.
Yeah. As part of the planning grant,
Correct.
yeah.
So for now, we could leave the 11.9K in there.
Mm-hmm.
That could be all encompassing for grant number 2 in March.
Yep.
Because it will be a cost share as well.
Yes. But that one's, that if we're going $50,000 for that one, and we have to have a
10%,
let's see what it says here. 25.
25% cash.
25% match on the 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's 12,500.
yeah.
12,500. So this is low.
It's the city's property. It's up to them. Do they want to do this or not?
So it's 12,000. It's 12,500.
It's their property.
And what were we saying for the planning grant?
That's 15, and that's 15,000, and that one is, well, that's up to 20, and I think that's a 10% match.
So,
So 2,000. So we're looking at 2,000 for the planning, and then the first one, if we are planning for next year, 12,500. So 14,500 is what that line item for 2 grants would go to.
But we could end up getting $70,000 with those matching funds. So,
So you wanna raise it up to 12.5?
14.5.
14,500.
What, leave it 14?
So it would be 2 grants.
2 grand.
so planning grant, and then
Okay.
the next one would be the
Structure.
mini grant for a maximum of 50,000. So the planning grant, number 1, for
And then-
20,
And then the mini grant.
and then the mini grant for 50.
Hey, all they can do is throw it out.
Yeah, I mean, well, it'll show if they have an interest in really doing that restoration. That's what I'm curious about. Because I don't get the impression that they really want to do anything. So this will tell us if they do.
I think you're right. It's a values conversation.
Mhm.
So we have a line item for May Preservation Month or other events. My guess is that because in 2023, that wasn't a line item. In 2024 is when you guys got the new banner.
Mhm.
We did not use that in 2025.
That's right.
So maybe with this A250, C150, WP50, maybe we could
Move that. I'm
lump
okay
lump
with that.
those together.
Yeah.
Because we already have the banner, Eric puts it out for free
And picks it up
and picks it up.
Mhm.
in the hail.
Deal.
So maybe that's something too.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
okay.
And what about the support organizations to promote history? Have we ever spent that money?
In 2023,
Yeah,
it
we did.
looks like it was $100 and nothing since then.
We gave $100 to the Historical Society, I think towards the potato soup supper. To help promote local history, is what we did there. And we failed to circle back around and try to.
Well, maybe since we're trying to do other things, we can take that off the list. And, because I'd really like to add the line item for the military stones. And, so. And how many people are going to Saving Places this year? Because I don't think 700 is gonna cut it.
What was it last year? It was.
Well,
down
half
They always
springs
have, they
and
always
do it.
have the scholarships too.
For lodging too? Because lodging will be $380 a person minimum.
Is
That's
down
what it
in
was for
Springs
Boulder.
again?
No, it's in Denver this year.
It's in Denver.
It'll be back.
Yeah,
Usually downtown in the historic.
it's not, it's over by
Palace.
Stapleton.
Oh,
It's in a not a very nice part of town.
Where is it at?
It's over by by the old Stapleton Airport.
Oh, that's where it's this year.
That's where
That's
it'll
a
be
very-
2026.
That's a historic area.
Yeah, but there's not
They've
a lot
wiped
of,
that name
not a
off
lot
of
of stuff.
everything,
Have they?
right?
Huh?
They wiped Stapleton off of everything, right?
I think so.
The
I think
condos,
it's-
everything
it's
that was
not-
developed around there.
Yeah, it's not the nicest part of town.
Mhm.
But I looked up, the housing cost or the lodging cost in Boulder was $380 for 2 nights because of the taxes. So depending on who's going, $700 is, if there's more than one person going, $700 won't cut it.
Well,
For
the only
lodging.
reason why the state wasn't doing grants or scholarships for lodging is because we didn't meet that requirement as far as the
distance,
distance.
but the dollars should apply towards lodging.
Okay, so I mean, it's up to you guys, because
Yeah.
I can't.
if I go, I'm
remember-
gonna wanna get reimbursed this year for my lodging.
And you wanna go 3 days, just add that
So
up,
it's 2 nights.
2 nights.
So that's the only reason why we couldn't get any scholarship money from the state because it's 40 minutes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I get it. We don't have to rehash last year. I'm just saying this won't cut it if more than one person goes. And then it's the burden of you, once again, CJ, to go through all that grant.
I'm more than
Yeah.
happy to do the scholarship stuff because
They do
it's so-
scholarships for lodging though? I only thought the scholarships were for the event itself, for the registration
But
of
I
the
don't know
event.
why Lindsay would have told us that.
I just,
Can we find out now, before we commit to the line item there?
Sure.
Find out how it's done.
are you gonna go this year, CJ?
We haven't talked about it. I don't know. If it's in Stapleton, probably not. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I went to high school right around Stapleton, so I know the area.
Cool.
Okay.
But I would say you wanna budget, $400 per person if it can't be covered by a grant. Or by a scholarship for the lodging portion of it. And then however you did it last year for the actual event registration fee.
So your suggestion is to bump this up to
800. If we can assume 2 people are going. And if I'm
Does
the only
anyone
one
else
going,
have will or like, hey, that sounds fun, I would like to go, Larry, or
I might be in Hawaii, so I don't know.
that sounds like more fun.
how many people have to go?
At least one.
One.
Just one,
Okay,
just one to keep us.
okay, so if it's just me that's going, then that's enough money.
Right.
But if you're going,
You suppose you could free yourself up to go?
I was just gonna say, thanks, Linda.
Oh, okay.
It's your
I
turn.
will when I'm
It's your
I'm
turn.
gonna back, I have to get rid of work
Okay.
for my business, and then I'm gonna be freed out.
so I guess it just comes down to if somebody from planning is gonna go.
Okay.
And, but I would say 400 per person for the lodging.
Okay, so if CJ can give us some more information on that, we could.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys added the preservation plan on here.
I did.
So,
Before we do that, did you guys want to get rid of the support organizations to Brook Bump History?
Maybe just this year, since we're asking for the money, since I would like to ask for the money for the veterans.
What else, what do you guys think?
I think that's fine. I think
So we can give a little,
we can keep it on there and take the 350, just like we did with the 250 for the,
Yeah, just keep it as a line item and just like ask for $0 in that one.
on
yeah,
that one.
that's a good way to do it.
And that puts us up to, 3, 4, 5, 600 of the $1,000 already,
Right.
for that.
That'd be great.
Because we're talking about 2 grants, cost share 14,500 already. The other thing is for the celebration, for the A250, C150, Woodland Park 50, I'm thinking we should keep the design poster
I
on there.
agree 100%.
Okay, on there.
Because that's a lot of money too. $800, that's a lot of dough, for sure. So if we do go like through a different route or something like that, that's a lot of money that could go toward the teacher to put on the class or what have you,
If we don't do the poster, you mean?
Yeah, but like if I thought you were saying if we do the youth poster for the C-150 thing and then loop that in.
But we
with the
don't
historical
even
theme
have
poster
a
design.
youth poster.
I know, but I was
budget, right?
saying, loop that in with the historic theme poster design. Could be something like if need be.
Yeah, I think that's legit. That the kids create the poster this year.
So it's really an or, depending on what.
Yeah, it would be an or type situation.
So like I said, I can check with Mike to see if he's involved in any of those programming, or if he can give us any leads to see on.
And here's the thing, if that group or that organization in Parks and Rec is not plugged into it, I think we should just shift gears and come up with
That's right.
something
You were
else.
gonna,
The Historical Society, if they're doing something educationally with the kids or something, then I think we
Hand the youth poster to them.
hand the poster to them
Okay.
or whatever they're doing, we could throw a few dollars to them to help with whatever they're doing, and we would get a little credit for it.
Actually, you got nevertheless the same thing, you wanna put out there what is being asked for, whether it's a kid or whatever, to celebrate these items, kind of direct something for a theme for responses, otherwise it could get pretty hard, but fairly meaningless.
Well, what I think would be really cool is in combination with this youth poster, that the incentive for the kids to participate is like the top 3 winners or something actually get banners that we hang on the lampposts on Main Street. because that would be, they would be excited that their poster won and it's displayed and we put it up on the anniversary either of the city of
Those
Woodland
are
Park.
kind of pricey.
How expensive are those?
Well, it depends on how complicated their poster is, first of all, being converted into that material. And then those things can cost a couple $100 a piece. Unless you get some really cheap
Well,
stuff
here we got $900 right here
for,
between the
Yeah.
post. So anyway, it's just a thought.
but keeping it in gives us flexibility. We
Yeah.
can move it around, I suppose, if we have to.
That was my point.
The other thing that concerns me is, I got you the name of the foundry that did our plaques. And they gave us back a quote. I don't remember what it was.
It was a lot more.
It was about a year ago when I found that out, and I gave it to you. So
Yeah,
I'm
what was
thinking
that?
if we have 3 potential properties to be designated, the Hammond site and the 2 homes, there's 3 right there.
And you can't tell them you're gonna do it unless you can pay for doing it.
That's right.
So I certainly think that ought to be put in the budget, hopefully to be used up appropriately.
And I think before we checked, it was like 400 up front.
I got the name of the foundry
Right.
and everything to CJ. And he reached out to him to see what the current price was about a year ago, because Karen could not locate the file from Sally's stuff,
So,
but CJ followed up.
yeah, that was December of 24. Let's see. The plaque we need to be $350.
Each.
Shipping is estimated around $30. So it'd be $380 per plaque.
So assume 400 by the time we get a couple more months in here.
$1,200.
I think he asked for it. If we're in the business of honoring historical places with plaques, then that's a given. That's kind of pretty much the
And-
number one direction on the work.
And it
Yes.
seems to me we need to stick with the design that we came up with, because otherwise we're gonna go through castings and all the design stuff again and so on and so forth. I don't see a reason to change it.
I think we should put it in being positive.
Okay, let's put 1,200 in because we're anticipating maybe 3 plaques.
Let's
If
see.
you don't put it in, it can't be done.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're asking for a little bit more money. We've rearranged some things.
You know, to do some math. There, see what that looks like.
Oh, and then we haven't talked about the preservation plan. If we want to try to come up with something, we have no idea where we're going with that.
Well, I thought we were gonna review that meeting, YouTube meeting, to see
Yeah.
what our grant opportunities are.
But there might be a match.
There will be.
There will be a match.
So what did you say it was gonna cost?
20 or 25 grand.
In the presentation, you asked us that same exact question, and she said 25 grand.
So can we assume like a 10% match?
Since you watched it, you remember?
Yeah. Well, she went over the different options. You know, the mini grants and general grants, so I think it would be a CLG non-match grants, okay. I think, unless it's one of these certified local government grants, no match grants up to $25,000 for preservation planning, survey design, so it's like that same. So it's that CLG grant.
So that doesn't require any matching funds.
Yeah, it says no match grants up to
Well,
25,000.
definitely.
Underrepresented communities and community engagement applications available. That was last year.
So if we applied to it for a CLG,
Yeah,
which we could since we are a CLG,
correct.
so is that reaching out to Kimberly
I would want to,
after we do a little bit more homework?
yes. I would want to do homework with Lindsay and sit down with her from a planning perspective and say, just kind of talk more about the CLG grant. What we would need to have in place to ensure our success with getting $25,000 to hire a consultant to help us do this. So,
And it
So,
says
let's
here,
just-
applications available on October 1st, draft review available. So if we're gonna try to get something lined up for next year, we need to not drag our feet with Kimberly.
October 1st, but this was,
I know this is last year's,
yeah,
but this was, what did you say, October of last year, but I would imagine they're gonna have similar deadlines. They work to the same type of calendar. So, CJ, we're gonna ask you for another action item to check out CLG grant here and see what our window of opportunity there is. And why don't we just leave preservation plan on here with a question mark? Because if we can apply through the CLG,
right.
but after you put some dollars on this, I bet this is gonna go up, 900. About $4,000. Ish, is what I'm guessing, which isn't that
That's
huge.
not that bad.
It's not that
Because
bad.
there's a lot of stuff getting done.
A whole lot of
Potentially.
stuff getting done, yeah. But I think it's about a $4,000 increase with the plaques and with,
Military stones.
military stones and with us trying to put some dollars towards the celebration next year in a variety of ways. Did we cover all the little things we kind of talked about adding to the budget? We did, didn't we?
I think so.
Is the veteran stones around there?
All right,
Okay,
are we good?
so nothing's gonna change on the work plan.
Well,
I think, I mean, as far as the 2026 work plan, do you want to put anything on the A250, C150 kind of thing?
yeah, I think we should.
Under like education, so when we talk about it on our, it can have an action item next to it. It'd probably be under projects or education maybe.
I think it would be, since it's public education promoting local history, celebrate its,
Okay, so E3, you guys good with that then?
yeah, E3, A20, here we go again.
A50, C150,
Took me a
A2,
while to figure it out too.
C150, WP50. Celebration.
I think the projects, Pikes Peak Ocean to Ocean, that was a Steve project and he's dropping that. Well, the county has given up on that one.
Well, I think the county historical group has to get their poop in a group. With their CLG and with everything else before they pursue the bridge.
Oh, is that what's
I
holding it up?
think so.
And they just recently got their CLG status.
Did they?
Or
Did they actually?
council signed off on whatever they needed to
County
sign.
commissioners
Yeah,
did?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so,
So they're
and
moving in the right
and we
direction.
have it, we as a city have an interest in the ocean to ocean.
I don't think it's badly.
I don't think we
Okay.
should trash that one. Templeton, Roberts House, Preservation Plan. Bergstrom Park,
And that's kind of done, isn't it, for the moment?
yeah. So just to correct, under the first one, A4, Is
Okay?
that still the 2026 budget?
Yes, you're right, sorry.
Well, actually, maybe it is correct because it's the 2026 work plan. So in 2026,
that's
we'll have
Oh,
to do.
no,
That's
no,
right,
you're
you're
right,
right.
you're right, you're right.
So I was thinking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking ahead.
No, that's true. See, actually, guys, under the ongoing continuous activities, we actually have O2 where we say, support the potato soup supper, so that's where we did give some money to support that. Honoring that, and the presentation this year. Baseball. It's gonna be the vintage, there's a vintage baseball guy that's also coming up for a presentation for at the potato soup supper, I think. And, Charlie has gotten the Divide Volunteer Fire Department is gonna play in a vintage baseball game up there at Hayden Park. They set the date, it's in. Anyway, so there's some things going on, so that is really a cool thing, because baseball was a big thing up here. So if we at least kept, even though we're not donating to the potato soup supper, I think using that as an example helps pull us into supporting those types of things. But I think the Historical Society for next year, for the celebratory, is gonna be thinking along those lines too. So maybe we can step in and support that. Is there anything you guys want to change on future projects or add? Of anything that we talked about today? Are we missing anything?
Well, is the Midland Terminal, is that the baggage
That's the
building?
baggage building. The depot, yeah.
Well, didn't Aaron come up and say that he would be looking for construction documents for the, current restroom building?
Oh, that was a follow-up to say, to the effect of that we'd be in contact with you to go with from these proposals to a actual set of construction documents. Seemed that he was specifically pointing to the potential upgrade of the whole
Restroom.
picnic shelf or restroom building, which it wasn't in time or place to ask more specific questions, but immediately wondered where the visitor center, potentially police substation, those things might come into it.
Yeah, that's,
So,
and we have the baggage building remodel. We've left it on here from a budget perspective, but it's because we still needed to update the scope of work and finalize it. It sounds like maybe they'll want to expand that project to include maybe it.
See, that's where.
I think that's a good possibility, but whether they would actually do anything or not to get it moving is
It's all
Roll
about,
the
it's all
question.
about the monies and actually, guys, maybe it's predicated on us to look for some possibilities for some monies to write some grants. I mean, if we wanted to, and I'm not necessarily advocating this right now, but maybe next year to try to push that project along, if we could say, putting these two buildings together from a project and a grant perspective, especially if we can make some progress on the preservation plan, maybe we could throw something out there and maybe get somebody to bite
I
on.
think that's a really good idea and should be done in place of not funding any of the other fantasies of the
reimagine Bergstrom Park.
But at least we could concentrate on the buildings which is what we deem to be, thought were so important. And
Yep.
other entities could look at all that other stuff. I mean, because there's gonna be the construction to punch the road through, all that parking, all that development, all that other stuff, but if we could do something with the buildings, or at least spearhead that, I don't know, it's just maybe something we should consider.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe that should be, so it's not just the baggage building, it's also the restroom
Good point.
building.
I think it should be
Yeah,
looked with as large a scope as would be in our purview.
yeah, it's both.
Mhm.
And since we've been kind of stymied on the updating the scope of work with the baggage building,
And now we can know what we can do with it.
now maybe we could,
So you wanna update F2 to read what, minimum terminal railroad station or do you want like another, like F2.2A or something, or?
Yeah, 2A could be Midland Terminal Railway Station. 2B can be upgrading,
obtain grant funds to complete, maybe Midland Terminal, blah, 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 and
I mean, it's okay with me because they're kind of a package deal.
it's kind of, and maybe that's how we should present
Yeah.
And restroom,
it. And rest stop, rest,
Covered picnic
covered
picnic building or whatever.
The
replica.
restrooms on their.
It's terminal replica as well.
Yeah.
With any
it's
building
the terminal
permit, because you
replica.
can't get building permit to have it occupied unless you have restroom sources somewhere.
so what's the terminology? Covered picnic area?
Or replica. I mean, that's what I always thought would be the terminal. I mean, I thought the other one was the baggage building.
No, we started out calling it the baggage, and it was used as baggage at one time, but it was also part of the original terminal, so we started changing the terminology. It is the old terminal building.
Oh, okay. Then what is the replica? Is that also the terminal?
Well, probably,
Yeah.
it's the
Okay, so
replica.
it probably doesn't need to be changed then.
As long as it's clear that it's two buildings.
It's
and
two
not
buildings
one.
and not one. You know, maybe for the consistency of this is we put, it says the Midland Terminal Railway Station was relocated. That was actually what we all originally referred to as the baggage building.
Why don't we say Midland Terminal Railroad Station buildings dash obtain grant funds?
Make it plural and
Yeah,
keep looking for more buildings.
yeah.
Good idea.
Okay, let's do something, but let's include both buildings as a package deal maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on here that you can see we should maybe, under future projects, do we want to put Henrietta and Lake Street?
I don't know that we're actually gonna do anything more to the Lake Avenue other than designate it.
Okay, okay. Anything else come to mind?
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
Could we change P3 to Junction House, Roberts House, and Barn? So it would be Junction House and Barn, Roberts House. I mean, it was also Roberts Barn, but it was, the barn is actually older than the Roberts House. So I don't know if we want to change that, P3, to include the barn. Because that's actually from the original Junction property. It predates the Roberts House. It predates 1918.
it's part of the livery.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, CJ, we're giving you a whole bunch of little, you guys good with it?
I would like to include the barn, because when we talked to History Colorado, they kept asking, is it the barn in the house?
So, okay, so we should be more inclusive,
Yeah.
okay? Okay, we ready to move on to reports? Eric, do you have anything for us?
Nothing to report.
Larry?
Potato soup supper, October 10th.
October 10th,
October 10th.
What is it? The-
potato
Potato
soup
soup.
supper, and that's gonna have the vintage baseball
um,
discussion, I think, vintage baseball. I don't know the gentleman's name, I didn't catch it.
Generally starts at 5:30 and presentation at 6. And then I'd like to add, for TJ, next month, we need to do
Our walkthrough.
a walkthrough. So mentally,
Okay. Yeah, real quick, Larry, next month. Just not I'm gonna be gone the 20th through the 24th.
so you look at your work schedule and then give me a holler.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
look at and then I want to thank the city for the barbecue, for honoring all the volunteers for the city. It's amazing how many volunteers are making the city go on all these committees. So thank you, and thanks for CJ for his compliment.
Sure.
You did good.
Thanks.
Anything else, Larry?
That's it.
David,
We're covered.
we covered, okay. Linda?
Nope, I don't have anything else to say, but did I send you this? The West, I have a note to send it to you. Did I actually send it to you?
I don't think so.
Okay, I gotta send you a lot of stuff. Do you want this veteran stuff too?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'll just get everything sorted out for you and email it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anything else? Nope. Okay, Jeff's not here. And Linda and I'll trying to meet with him. I don't have anything. CJ, you got a report to cover or anything else that we didn't cover?
No,
Okay,
as far as, do you guys want to hear my work list?
Sure.
Send an email to Kimberly. Hope we get something on the books. Call the Hammonds on Henrietta. We'll follow up. I'll be emailing you guys with the language to send out a letter. Okay. Reach out to Mike with Parks and Rec. Colorado 150-year anniversary. See if we're doing anything. Kind of put put some bugs in some folks' ears. I think Kristen's really the way to go. 'Cause she's kind of the go-to on that.
I think she's the only one that might even know anything about it
Right.
since Steve talked to her.
Right. The Saving Places Scholarship, as far as lodging goes, see what the deal is with that, and then contact Lindsay about the CLG grants.
See if that's a.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you got,
Not too bad.
and then you've got our input on the budget and we're asking for a little bit more.
Yeah, and then update the budget and the work plan to present that to you guys next meeting.
But Karen's got to submit the budget into Aaron this month.
Right.
So,
But that's why we needed your input today.
gotcha.
So she's not gonna be back until next week.
Okay, that's it. We're adjourned.
Okay, 5:14.
5:14.